Albert Einstein once said that the eighth wonder of the world was compounding interest and exponential growth. And one of the reasons for that is because unless you actually study them, they're really hard for the human brain to fully comprehend, just like big numbers. So that's what we're going to tackle today. Here's a standard chart which you're probably familiar with, and as the Yanks call it, it's a hockey stick chart. And this is a familiar chart because this is actually world population growth. So as you can see, it's taken thousands of years to put this many people on the planet, and as I make this presentation, world population is about 7 billion people, so this chart is very old. And one of the things to remember is that even though the rate of increase is very minute in most cases, it's cumulative. So once it starts its exponential phase, it then goes like a rocket. And world population only grows by 1% per year, so it's not much. And we're living in an exponential world at the moment, from fish supplies to computer speeds, oil production, human growth as I've just mentioned, and also US debt or world debt and the world currency supply. So let's go through a quick example of exponential growth and compounding interest in action, just to put it in perspective a little bit. So let's say I take you to one of the biggest stadiums in the UK, Wembley Stadium. As you can see, it's a behemoth of a building, and we go to the top row of seats, and we sit down, and I actually handcuff you to your seat. I then go down to the centre of the football pitch and pull out my pipette of magic water. Now, this is magic water because from the moment I drop it, it doubles in size every single minute. So after 1 minute we have 2 drops of water, after 4 we have 8, and after sort of 8 minutes all we have is 16 drops of water in the centre of the pitch. Now, let's say I drop this magic water at 12 o'clock midday. Now, how long do you think it will take to completely overflow the stadium? Have a guess? You're probably close. You'll be drowning at 12:50. Now let's say I've completely underestimated the volume of the stadium by 100%. Or in that case you'll be drowning at 12:51. As you see, it's the rapid decompression of time in the later stages which really catches people out. Now here's the interesting part. At what point is the stadium 97% empty? 12:45. So 5 minutes before you're drowning, the stadium's 97% empty, so it's just a tiny pool in the middle. The human brain simply cannot understand this. Now let's go back to human population. Now this is interesting yet quite scary because a lot of scientists have been trying to predict our growth, and they're saying that the world only has enough resources and land to hold about 9 to 10 billion people. So what's going to happen there? Who knows? And even things like the Black Death or the World Wars, that really doesn't put much of a dent in human population growth. So it's going to be interesting in the next 100 years or so. Now let's look at oil. This is a very important topic because oil production and consumption is increasing on an exponential rate, but oil reserves are declining exponentially. And scientists can accurately calculate how much oil there is on the planet. And guess where that is? Yeah, we are very rapidly approaching that limit. Now yes, technology is enabling us to get more oil at deeper depths, etc. However, there is only so much oil on the planet to go around. Now, in 2011, remember when BP had that massive oil spill? Now that well was one of the largest oil well discoveries in the last 15 years. To put that into perspective a little bit, let's say BP extracted every single barrel of oil from that well. All that oil was only 24 hours worth of world oil consumption. So we are rapidly running out of oil, and also cheap and easy oil has long gone. Now let's have a look at debt. Now this is a chart of US debt from 1940 till now, and as you can see it's gone ballistic. But you can apply this graph to all debts. So world debt, every other country's debt is pretty much following the same rate of growth at the moment. And the US debt is only increasing at 3% per year. And this is compound interest at its best. Now the UK's debt is increasing at £5,200 per second. That's £450 million per day our debt increases. But the US debt increases by $4 billion per day. A financial crash is a mathematical certainty.